This is KGW News at 5.
We begin here at 5 o'clock with the latest on the spread of COVID in the Northwest. As many as 90 COVID cases are being linked to 4 recent high school wrestling tournaments in Washington. They happened in Lacey, Sumner, Puyallup, and Yelm on December 4th. Students from almost a dozen counties around Washington, including Clark and Cowlitz in our area, attended. Officials also say a high school in Oregon went to one of the tournaments too. The outbreaks include both vaccinated and unvaccinated people. You can find the list of tournaments on KGW.com. Amid that outbreak and the ongoing pandemic, we are getting plenty of COVID questions from viewers. That includes topics like the Omicron variant, military vaccines, and booster shots. Here's Kyle Iboshi to help explain.
As some members of the U.S. military face a deadline over vaccines, some people wondered, what's the vaccination rate of the Oregon National Guard? As of this week, a spokesperson said 80% of the total force for the Oregon National Guard has been fully vaccinated. Vaccination deadlines have varied throughout the military. Those with the National Guard have until June 2022 to be vaccinated, the longest lead time of any part of the military. Roughly 560 Oregon Guard members are seeking religious or medical exemptions. Those are being reviewed. Another question we're hearing, how many Oregonians have received an extra dose? More than 900,000, according to the Oregon Health Authority. That's about 27% of adults statewide. And if that seems low to you, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, those who got the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine need to wait 6 months after their second dose to get that third shot. So, depending on when you got vaccinated, you may not be eligible yet. And second, it's been less than a month since the FDA approved those booster shots for adults, so we can expect that number to increase in the coming weeks. And finally, some people are struggling and ask, where can I get a booster shot? The best thing you can do is use the state's vaccine locator tool. You can find that online at getvaccinated.oregon.gov. Simply type in your address and it will show you a map of nearby pharmacies and clinics where you can get that booster dose. Again, you can find that at getvaccinated.oregon.gov. Kyle Iboshi, KGW News.
An update now on firefighter staffing at PDX. We first told you in October, 14 of the 41 members of Portland Airport Fire and Rescue were on leave for refusing to get vaccinated against COVID. They cited religious reasons. Since then, 9 of them have been vaccinated. 1 is currently on medical leave, and 4 were laid off at the start of December. If airport firefighter staffing levels drop too low, the FAA wouldn't allow planes to land, effectively shutting down PDX. Rental assistance applications in Clark County opened up today. These are for people who are low income and impacted by the pandemic. KGW's Bryant Clerkley is in the newsroom for us. Bryant, how many applications were available today?
Hey, Laurel, there were 400 rental assistance applications that went out, and they were gone in 30 minutes. So in this past year, over $33 million have been given out to more than 4,000 households.
The Clark County rental assistance applications were all taken in 30 minutes today. Officials say $700,000 in rental assistance is given out to 90 households each week. Sunny Wonder works with the Council for the Homeless. She says the need is far greater than the 400 applications that opened up.
It's very important to find a balance of providing openings so that folks are able to access this service to get onto our rental assistance list, and also wanting to make sure we're not just adding people with no plan in the near future of contacting them.
The amount of money a renter gets depends on a household situation, but the program covers up to 12 months of assistance. The renter or the landlord can apply. Applicants will have to provide their address and the amount of rent they owe.
It's our friends and neighbors. It is the people who perhaps have never been in this situation before, who never expected to be in this situation, who have never experienced asking for help.
Katie was 6 months behind on her rent. She had underlying health issues, which made her job as a cashier dangerous. She eventually lost that job earlier this year. About a month ago, she was approved for rental assistance.
We don't have the funds to have covered all of that. Our family, our extended family doesn't have that kind of money. And so we could very well, be either in a hotel or, couch surfing.
Households may only get the assistance once. Officials are asking people to only apply one time. For more information, people can visit the Council for the Homeless website.
I can say that when I got notified that we received the assistance, I did cry because I was extremely pleased because we were looking at spending the holidays struggling.
And if you don't have internet access, there is a number you can call. It's 360-695-9677. And the next set of applications will open January 5th. Laurel.
As you said, there is a great need out there. Thank you, Bryant. Developing tonight, police are trying to find the man who tried to kidnap a 6-year-old boy in Portland's Pearl District, and the whole thing was caught on camera. You'll notice here a dad walk into the frame. His 6-year-old son is trailing him. A stranger then grabs the boy and tries to take off with him. Fortunately, the dad's able to free his son, and the would-be kidnapper makes a run for it. This all happened around 3:15 Tuesday afternoon near the Fields Park on Northwest Overton. Parents we spoke with are concerned.
That's pretty scary. Yeah, that's scary. So, our kids live in the neighborhood. They ride bikes and scooters, so that's pretty alarming.
Detectives have learned that minutes before this attempted kidnapping, the same man followed around a mother and her son. The mom snapped this photo of the suspect. He's described as a Hispanic man, 20 to 30 years old, between 5'1" and 5'3". He's heavy set with dark hair, and he was wearing a black hoodie, whitewashed jeans, a gray beanie, and black and white shoes. Clackamas County has settled with the family of a boy over an incident from back in 2019. Jarena McDavid says her son Kamar and some friends were at Clackamas Town Center when a fight broke out there. McDavid says her son and his friends watched, then left, only to be stopped by deputies. McDavid thinks he was singled out because of his race. According to a lawsuit, deputies elbowed Kamar in the face and pushed him to the ground. With the $45,000 settlement, Clackamas County admits no wrongdoing.
They could just acknowledge that they did something wrong and make a change within their the police officers there. That's what I really, really wanted was a change.
McDavid says Kamar is doing physically okay, but is afraid of going near police officers. Looking ahead to the story at 6 o'clock tonight, a startling new report shows more people are dying on our streets than ever before. Maggie Vespa joins us with more. Maggie, these numbers are pretty startling.
They really are. In fact, the most disturbing headline from this is that in 2020, 126 people died homeless in Multnomah County. And that's a record high, up 11% from 2019. And what's more, the average age of those who died on our streets is young, 46 years old. That's according to the 2020 Domicile Unknown report just out today. It's an annual tally of local homeless deaths. Hope Yamasaki's son, Chris, is among the dead. The 26-year-old overdosed in a tent last year, blocks from where he went to elementary school in Northwest Portland. After a happy childhood, his mom says Chris was doing well as a young adult. He planned to work for AmeriCorps when suddenly his mental health took a turn. Doctors said it was schizophrenia, but getting treatment, Yamasaki said, was next to impossible. Beds were full, facilities turned Chris away, and she says he started self-medicating with drugs, including meth, which last year killed him.
I feel so much guilt and sadness, but we desperately need dual diagnosis centers and walk-in detox, safe places for people to be who are on meth, and we need better options. Help is not as easy to get as many people think. There's just not enough resources available. The houseless matter. Those with mental health issues and addiction difficulties matter. Chris mattered.
Our hearts go out to Hope Yamasaki and her family. It was so hard to listen to her just as a mom talk about this. So we'll talk more about this report and the rise in overdoses, specifically meth overdoses. It's fueling a lot of this at 6 on the story.
Just heartbreaking. Thank you, Maggie.
Awful.
We'll see you at 6 o'clock. Washington is also dealing with its own homeless crisis. Now Governor Jay Inslee is proposing a new plan to try to fix the problem. He wants to dedicate another $800 million in the next legislative session. The money would be used for mental health services, building tiny home villages, and to stop people at risk of falling into homelessness from ending up on the street.
This is not just about the homeless, it's about people whose rents are going through the roof and will soon be homeless because the rents are going through the roof. The rents are going through the roof because we don't have enough houses for people who are moving to the state of Washington. And so rents are skyrocketing.
More than $2 billion are already allocated for housing and homelessness from earlier this year. That includes $1 billion in federal relief funds that went to rental and mortgage assistance and help with utility payments. 2/3 of the new $800 million plan would be covered by federal coronavirus funding.